So we've done 40 things I love about my Tesla Model 3, but today we're doing 20 things I hate about my Tesla Model 3. The reason I'm not doing 40 things is because I couldn't think of 40 things. This car is absolutely amazing, I love it, but there is still some room for improvement. This video is of course sponsored by the beautiful Ridge wallet. Let's get into it. Rear view visibility takes some getting used to. The very first thing that I was really concerned about when I drove a Model 3 was I can't really see anything behind me. And that's just because the saloon car shape has made a very narrow window, and also the thing that covers the boot kind of sticks up as well. So a lot of what you see in the mirror is actually just the thing that covers the boot. In my old Model 3, when you opened up this little pouch, there was a lovely little basket there, so you could put nice things like your keys and maybe your sun cream just in the basket. But as you can see in this new Model 3, they got rid of the basket, so there's just a massive gaping hole. Want to put my sun cream away? Oh, it's got sucked into the void, never to be seen again. I want me basket back. This car was like 50 grand. Give me my little basket, Tesla. Where's the basket? A common problem that a lot of Teslas have are panel gaps, and I've got some quite significant panel gaps here. You can see, look at that. I can get like my finger in there. And basically what this causes, if I go ahead and open the boot, you will see, look at how much dust has gathered inside because of this large panel gap. So it's really cool. The car has a built-in dashcam system that records multiple different angles all at once. I love that. However, the quality's kind of naff when you compare it to a nice £30, relatively cheap 1080p HD dashcam that you can install onto your car. Going back to the Tesla version, it's an outdated square aspect ratio. You can see everything's got this vintage sepia tone to it, and no audio is currently recorded, which is kind of annoying. And another annoying little bug that hasn't yet been fixed for many months. You see this little red dot? So that's where an incident happened and I had to click the horn. But if we actually try and view that incident by clicking to that point in the video, watch what happens. This is really, really annoying. So you can see it lags for a second, and it skips back like 9 minutes. And it does this on every single Sentry clip. Really irritating. It's been a thing for ages, and they've not yet fixed it. Here's one we've talked about many times. If I want to open the glove box, I have to click the glove box button and type in my very secure PIN that you don't know. And there we go. It opens. But guess what? If I want to close the glove box, I can't just click this button again. I have to reach over like some kind of peasant and manually close it myself. What's that about? Why make it self-open if it doesn't self-close? What's going on? So the fact that the car has a summon feature is really, really cool. It's amazing that the car can drive forwards and backwards when there's nobody inside. And this should be really, really useful for reversing the car out of my tiny, tiny garage. But in reality, it kind of isn't, because it takes a very long time to load in the app. So I'm just stood outside my house like this, waiting for the app to wake the car up. And also, I have to actually wake the car up physically by opening the doors and closing them again, and it seems to make like the app load a little bit quicker. Sometimes the car just disconnects randomly, meanwhile I'm just stood like this waiting. In reality, it's a lot more inconvenient than it should be. Right, so I'm really being a spoiled little brat with this one, but yes, I have 5 heated seats in this Tesla, but my steering wheel isn't heated. Now, I don't mind that, but generally a car of this value would have a heated steering wheel, and the palms of my hands were a little bit chilly during those cold winter months. It'd be nice if I had a heated steering wheel. You know what? It'd be nice if the chairs did massage things as well. I don't mind, but that would be nice. Having YouTube installed in your car is epic, but in reality, if you want to watch a video in HD, it doesn't really load very well. Let me watch one of our previous videos. So you can see that it's buffering for a little while, and then when it eventually starts, the FPS is way, way lower than it should be, and there's quite, look at that, look at me boot, it opens way smoother than that. It's completely out of sync, it's crashing constantly, look at that, my mouth's not synced up at all. So in a software update a few months ago, they moved the speedometer from being nice and big in the middle to being a bit smaller and just squashed over in this top right corner. So there's now unused space here, and it's harder to see how fast you're traveling when I actually start driving around. So of course this is a slightly unfair test because it's bright outside right now, but the interior lights are rubbish. They are just not bright in the slightest. Like when it's dark and you actually try these, it makes no difference at all. And they've got some other ones here. Nothing bloody happens as well. they're just really not that bright at all. So before we find out what other tiny insignificant issues I hate about my luxury vehicle, let's check out today's sponsor, Ridge Wallet. For years, this big floppy thing was my only wallet. Oh, bloody hell. But 6 months ago, I stopped using this and I started using this. The Ridge Wallet. And it was at that point I realised just how unnecessarily large and clunky traditional wallets are. I recently switched from my carbon fibre Ridge Wallet to an 18-karat gold-plated Ridge Wallet, and this thing is absolutely beautiful. It holds all of my cards with ease. My money is super secure on the back as well. Oh, what's that? Got my vaccination card in here as well. This thing's amazing. I absolutely love it. Becky has also recently started using a Ridge Wallet. Hers is this very nice blue design. You know, it's not 18-karat gold or anything, but it's still nice. But these things are amazing and super secure. You're never gonna have anything fall out of them. They come in lifetime warranty. You can test drive them for 45 days. And I heard Father's Day is coming up. Could be the perfect gift. Don't mind if I do. If you want to get one of these wallets, head to ridge.com/Jack. And if you use code Jack, you can get an extra 10% off your purchase. Thanks, Ridge, so much once again for this sponsor. This is quite a significant one. So you can see right now we have 180 miles of charge. But guess what? This car would not take me another 180 miles. Well, perhaps it would if I stuck at about 30 miles an hour and never had any aircon on. But in reality, the car's miles, it probably uses like twice as much as it says it's going to use. And honestly, I feel like it should calculate this number based on the user's driving style and like how they've been driving that day and previously, rather than basing it on just very efficient, slow driving. Because if you're going on the motorway, you're going to be using way more than 1 mile of charge per mile. The car has built-in Spotify, which is great, but it's not very intuitive to use. Just small things like the fact that the search key is down the bottom as opposed to up near the top where you'd normally expect it to be. And if I actually search for some music, so here you can see we've searched Arctic Monkeys, if I click on an album and then I decide, no, I don't want that album, and I go back, it takes me to the last playlist that we played, rather than taking me back to the Arctic Monkeys search results. Just general annoying stuff like that that you notice once you've used it for a while. If I go ahead and put the car into drive, you will see, what's with all this empty space? Like, what's going on there? There's just nothing going on. Even when we're driving and like traffic lights and stuff show up, it's all going on down here. This is just a load of blank space that is... Why is there a car there? Hello? That's so weird. What? Who's that? What's that about? But yeah, if you imagine there's a car in front of us, which there isn't, I don't quite know what's going on there. Look at all this blank space that's just not being utilised. Really annoying. When they released the new 2021 Tesla Model 3, they changed all of the USB ports to those new USB ports, which are these like smaller ones. Now I understand that these things are like more modern, and this is apparently what people are like using, but none of my devices have this kind of USB port. So if I wanted to use any USB stuff, I'd have to purchase the new USB things. It's just a bit annoying. So the car's got these lovely fancy driving profiles. So if I click on my profile, my wheel moves to the right position, my seat moves to the right position, even the mirrors move to the right position, which is fantastic. But this one doesn't. This one, you still have to move manually. If they've made these mirrors electric, and they've made the wheel and the seat electric, why can't they make that one electric as well? It just seems pointless that anytime Becky gets in the car, oh yes, her profile is set so she can be in the perfect driving position, but then she still has to reach over and adjust this mirror. And then on a similar theme, if we've got driver profiles, can we have passenger profiles too? Because anytime me and Becky swap and I jump in that seat, I have to manually mess with all of these little settings on here to get into a nice comfy position. The technology already exists in the car, so just make it a thing for the passengers too. So the Tesla Model 3's got like quite a nice large boot, and you can get a bunch of stuff in here, and you can also get some more stuff down there. This is fantastic. However, because it's a saloon car, the actual gap itself, with this big thick chunky bit here and then this bit over here, it's quite narrow. And there has been lots and lots of times where things that should fit in a car of this size quite easily don't, just because of this narrow little gap. I've been unable to get recycling boxes in here. When I got my granddad's scooter in here, it scratched all over it. The wedding cake was a bloody nightmare. So it is quite an annoying little boot. The car's music system is kind of irritating, particularly if you're a passenger. This is an issue Becky has a lot. So a song's playing, and if she wants to skip that song, she has to click right there, which is fair enough. However, when you're on the road and you're kind of wobbling about, it's very easy to click kind of next to it, and then this shoots up in the air like that. So you have to drag it back down, and then you're clicking, and you're missing, and it's just, things are sliding about all over the place if you just click slightly, not quite on the button. When you're driving on Tesla Autopilot, you're expected to constantly make the car aware that you are paying attention. So you get these little warning notifications on screen telling you to apply force to the wheel. Now, the way to avoid these annoying warnings popping up every 30 seconds is just to hold the wheel like this with at least a significant amount of force. And that pressure just confirms to the car that your hand is on the wheel and you are paying attention on the road in front of you. However, what's annoying about this little hand position that most Tesla drivers use is this bit of metal here is pointy and it sticks into your fingers. And it's not a huge issue, but it is just a bit of a shame that Tesla didn't kind of have the foresight to predict that they need to maybe round off that edge a little bit more or add a little bit of padding or something just so that it's more comfortable to rest your hand there. This is another one that's kind of difficult to explain, but the car indicators are really annoying to use. And I think basically it stems from the fact that when you click the indicators on, it always reverts back to its central position. And there's 2 clicks or just 1 click, but it will always just go back to the middle, and that's the same down there. It's the same if I do it as hard as I possibly can. So basically what ends up happening when you've got music on in the car and you're on the motorway or whatever, is you'll quite often either be indicating for longer than you meant to, or you just won't be indicating at all, because it's just very difficult and annoying to use. So my wheel's very pretty. I really like how this looks. However, if you change your angle and you see it from here, you see all the really ugly leather lining that the passenger is able to see, and anyone that's in front of the car is also able to see. And you can also feel that on your hands as well, and it's a little bit unpleasant. And now this is also going to be basically impossible to notice, but when we got this new Tesla 21 Model 3, there's actually a bit of the stitching that's kind of not installed properly, and you can kind of flick it and fiddle with it, and it might seem like something you wouldn't notice, but when you're actually like driving the car around, you can definitely feel this. And I feel like at some point, if I have this car for a long time, it's eventually going to come more and more undone. Whoa, look at that! We're at number 20, so that was all 20 things I dislike about my Tesla Model 3. Let me know what you thought of the 20 in the comments down below, and is there any others that I didn't mention? Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to this channel. We upload every single Saturday. Don't forget to check out Ridge Wallet, and I'll see you all later.